All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is January 8th, 2026. My name is Coach Carignan. Today, I am the coach of the lead instructor here at BYOB Trading Room. Thank you so much for being here. Let's go take a look at the markets, how I made 1K. Market was flat today, okay? So it's just like they went up and over to the right. That's it. No trade was actually available except for this downtrend, which really never triggered till, you got below VWAP here, so it didn't go far at all. So nothing but flatness today in the markets. Nothing but chop, 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 above VWAP, under VWAP, over VWAP, back and forth all day long, multiple candles. Kind of holding the bear flag, really. All right, so we'll see what happens. Right now, let's take a look at the markets here. Let me get this stuff out of the way. Move this down. All right, let's move this over to the side. 10-minute bearish consolidation because we're coming down and over to the right. So 10-minute bearish consolidation. 2-hour chart. 2-hour chart is a 2-hour downtrend coming into the close. Let's go over here on this one, see what it looks like. Yeah, 2-hour downtrend coming into the close right here. 3 is underneath the 8 EMA. Let's move this out of the way. All right, so 2-hour downtrend, 10-minute bearish consolidation, daily candle, lower high, lower low, closing. It's hard to read that one. Okay, closing. EMA here is 687.90. We're closing 680. 80 EMA is 680. Yeah, 687.90. All right. So what's the 3 EMA is 689.32. And we're closing at 689.74. So over a bullish trap on SPY at the top of quadrant 4. That's still bullish, still in an uptrend. Weekly chart still bullish in an uptrend. Monthly chart still bullish, still in an uptrend. Okay, let's take a look at QQQ. See how they closed. On the 10-minute chart, 10-minute bearish consolidation. Coming in with a weak 3-candle, 4-candle uptrend into the close, but all in all, bearish consolidation almost all day after this move down. And for the 2-hour chart, 2-hour downtrend coming into the close, daily candle, lower high, lower low, closing inside bullish trap over the 17 EMA, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, that's QQQ. Weekly chart still in an uptrend. Monthly chart still in an uptrend. Let's take a look at IWM. And on the daily chart we have for IWM, looks like a new all-time high for IWM. All right, so that's bullish and still in an uptrend. Diamond Dow is a lower high, lower low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. So that is still bullish, still in an uptrend on Diamond Dow. FNGU, here's the stinker. Lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA, underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP, underneath the minor resistance, which once was major support. On the daily chart, we're still in a downtrend. So it's neutral. Here's the quadrant lines. Here's the April low. Neutral and still in a downtrend. On silver and gold. All right, silver is a lower high, lower low, closing in a bullish trap over the rising 17. Top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Okay, and in an uptrend. Take a look at GLD. Is an outside day. It's a higher high and a lower low. Closing over a bullish trap over the 17. Top of quadrant 4, that's bullish. Still in an uptrend for GLD. Okay, you can see right here it's quadrant 1, 2, 3, top of quadrant 4. Let's take a look at UNG. And UNG got a lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17 EMA. Bottom of quadrant 1, that's bearish and still in a downtrend on UNG. USO. Oh, talk about whipsaw. Higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish cross. Still in a downtrend because they made a lower low. We still got to make a new higher high. Still underneath the downtrend line. Still underneath 2022 high anchored VWAP. That's a post-COVID high anchored VWAP. And USO still neutral and still in a downtrend right there. Let's take a look at technicals. T2101. We moved down and, actually the IWM, if you're looking at T2101, IWM, which is Russell 2000, made a new all-time high. So that fits with the Russell 2000. With the SPY, SPY moved down and market moved up. So not good for the SPY, but very good for IWM. And I think FNGU held back the SPY and the QQQ, kind of pushed it down underwater all day. All right, so we recaptured the buy zone right here, which is what I wanted. All right, it just didn't show up in the QQQ or the SPY. Price for T2122 back in the buy zone, making a brief appearance inside the overbought zone. So great job on the bulls, recovering all of that dip that we took yesterday on T2122. T2123 puts in another high up there. So obviously in an uptrend there for T2123. 15-minute chart, again, breakout over the consolidation, over the 200 SMA, that's bullish. All right. And in an uptrend on T2123. 3-bar chart. Again, here's the April low. There's the all-time high. Here's the pullback low. Okay, we're made a high, made a higher high, so we're up over the consolidation. Bull flag breakout over the 200 SMA. That's bullish. As far as quadrant lines go, we're in the middle of quadrant 4, so that's bullish. And we're in an uptrend. There's a high. We're making higher highs. On the stinker. All right. And on the stinker, we got, there's a low right here. We made a lower low. So we're in a downtrend. And, of course, with the quadrant lines on there, we're still in a downtrend. If we just put the quadrant lines, you see from the high to the present day where we are. Okay, that's on the 15-minute chart. That is bearish and in a downtrend on the 15-minute chart. If you look at it on the daily chart, you are in neutral and in a downtrend with the daily chart. So stinker held us back again today. Okay, so this is another test of the neckline here. All right, if we break through this, things could get ugly. Tomorrow is the employment situation. That should be good. All right, looking at what we saw today, but I guess the market took it the wrong way. So we'll see what happens tomorrow. I can't foresee anything being really that horrible with the employment situation regarding the month of December. I mean, we just went through the holidays. I would suspect that there was a lot of hiring, and I suspect there was a lot of selling, and I suspect that it's going to be good. That's what I suspect, but we'll see. Maybe the market reads it as not good enough. We'll see what happens with that. All right, traders, that's it for me. SPY. Okay, actually, let's go back to FNGU. Let's take it back to SPY right here. Okay. And we'll put on the 10-minute. Just a bear flag right there, okay? So nice thing is that we recovered that low anchored VWAP right there. We're above that. We made higher lows, but we still struggle to make higher highs. So we'll see what happens. I got to tell you what I'm looking at. Looks like this looks like a bearish head and shoulders, an inverse. Or actually, no, not an inverse, but a bearish head and shoulders. This looks like a bearish head and shoulders, that being the head, all of this left shoulder, and this being the right shoulder. So I'm going to say we break the neckline right there, okay? We may be coming down to fill gap. We may be coming down to test the breakup candle low. All right, we'll see what happens tomorrow. Does not look good for the markets tomorrow. Hopefully the bulls can come in. IWM's doing great. Diamond Dow's doing great. SPY and QQQ are really not doing bad if you took out the weighted FNGU and the Mag 7. If you eliminated that, they would be doing fantastic. But because the FNGU is so low, it's been dragging those two indexes down, and I was kind of thought that might happen, so we'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, so we got options expiration Friday, as well as the employment situation. We'll see what happens. Thank you, everybody. Everybody have a beautiful evening. I will see you all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Thank you.